Yeah. So, um, obviously over here, most people who are dialyzing in centre will do 3 times a week, for 4 hours at a time. Some people might do 5 hours, but technically that's all that can be accommodated for the clinic schedule. Whereas when people go home on hemodialysis, they're really encouraged to do a minimum of 4 times a week or alternate days. Because the real huge benefit is removing that long gap. When you're on a 3 times a week schedule, every week you have to have the 2.5 days between treatments. So between Friday and Monday or Saturday and Tuesday. And we know that that is where people tend to have problems with fluid overload or high potassium, and you can feel really unwell by the time they reach their next treatment. So when you're at home, you do not have to have that long gap, which we know is so beneficial. Um, and different hospitals offer different options, and in many places, patients are allowed to kind of work out what suits them best as well with their home program. And so increasingly, we are starting to see people who decide to do nocturnal hemodialysis. Um, and as I said before, for me, I do 5 nights a week for 6 or 7 hours on the machine. Some people do 6 nights a week. Some people do 8 hours. And some people do 7 nights a week. And obviously, it depends on your body size and how effective your fistula is and your access. But the more we can minimize those gaps, the better. And the long hours means that as you go kind of 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, you start to clear things like phosphate really effectively. Obviously, things like potassium is really well controlled. So on my regime, I have no diet restrictions at all, no fluid restrictions at all.
Wow.
Which is wonderful. Being on a fluid restriction, I can't tell you how amazing it is to just eat and drink. Because if I do a 7-hour treatment, I can safely remove, 3 to 3.5 liters in that treatment, but keeping a very low fluid removal rate throughout, as we know that's everything that keeping your heart safe, keeping your
Mhm.
safe. Whereas if you're only doing 4 hours, you can only really remove much smaller amounts of fluid. So for me, I really advocate to do as many nights as possible. And I have a personal rule where I don't take 2 nights off in a row as far as I can help it. So I try to never have a 2-night gap unless there's a real emergency or something. And because I just know I won't feel good if I do that. And as I said again, because I'm not able to have a transplant, I am really looking to protect my body and my health for a very long time. But I know for people at home, particularly if they're using certain machines that maybe are doing lower flow dialysis, which some machines do, then they might be doing 5 to 6 sessions a week and doing 3 hours at a time. So there are lots of different options, but I do encourage people to speak to their healthcare team about what will work for them around their life, because we all have busy lives and we all want to be enjoying our lives and doing work or looking after our family. Whatever your priority is, you should put your life first and make your dialysis prescription fit around your life, because then you'll be much more likely to feel like you're willing to put the work in to dialyze at home, because you get the reward of having much more normality and control.